How to live stress and anxiety free 24 hours a day is a new program aimed at children to teach them how to deal with life, to understand that their feelings and emotions are not mental disorders, but rather they are their God-given instincts that in the face of any danger, real or imaginary, they are meant to take one of 4 actions: fight, flight, freeze, or acceptance. So if a child is facing with anxiety or depression or anger or fear or grief or loneliness or any other feeling or emotion, they're meant to take some form of action. Just take the action. Don't ask for permission, don't ask for approval. Just take that action. Run away, hide, freeze, stand up for yourself, fight for yourself. Take some form of action. The worst thing a child can do is to not take any form of action and to harm themselves or others. It was suggested over the past few weeks that the first line of defense are the parents of the children. That in the home 1 hour a night, the parents should teach the children about how to experience fight, flight, freeze, and acceptance. That on a sheet of paper, you list the 6 most obvious feelings and emotions: anxiety, depression, fear, anger, grief, and loneliness. And then alongside them, you put the 4 responses of fight, flight, freeze, and acceptance. And then as a group, you do a workshop where you go through each response and you work out what kind of responses you could have. So in flight, there could be running away, running up to your bedroom, running and hiding under the bed, hiding in the closet, hiding in the spare room, hiding in a bathroom, hiding out in the garden. Discuss and to build up a whole repertoire of responses in the flight for anxiety, for depression, for fear, for anger, and so on. And then go to freeze, and then go to fight, and then go to acceptance. And if they can do this for an hour each evening, it'll instill in the child the ability to take care of themselves, to manage with life on life's terms by simply taking some form of action. I saw recently that the statistics stated that there are 290 million children between the age of 10 and 19 who have been diagnosed with mental disorders, where they've been told that their feelings are mental disorders, and the responses like disassociation is a mental disorder. But that's not the truth. For young children, they're too young to leave the home or to defend themselves. The best coping skill they have is to disassociate, to leave the building mentally and emotionally, to go off to their world of fantasy for 5 or 10 minutes until the fighting or the noise quietens down, then they come back into the room. These are all natural instincts and responses given to us by God that we're meant to embrace. The second line of defense I suggested was in schools, teachers take a whole class for 1 hour and do the same process. List the 6 feelings: anxiety, depression, fear, anger, grief, and loneliness. And then below it, the 4 responses of fight, flight, freeze, and acceptance. And then again, go through all these different feelings and emotions, these instincts, and refer them to the 4 responses, and do a whole list and let the children work together with the teachers to come up with different ideas and to practice each idea. So maybe the teacher says, okay, for 5 minutes we're all going to run down to the canteen and hide in the canteen. And then we'll come back and talk about what that felt like. And then we run to maybe to the yard, or we run down to the football pitch. We go and we try running away somewhere and hiding and see what that's like, and get the children to practice these responses in any situation and come back and discuss them. And over the time, the children learn all these different responses and how they can use them for all these different feelings. And I think the third and final line of defense for us is to find some form of a treatment center. I would suggest a private treatment center who are used to looking after people, and somewhere a safe place where children of 10 to 19 years of age can go, and they can stay there for 3 months up to 1 year. And maybe the parents and the center arrange a homeschooling program so they can still attend school while they're away. And over the period of that year, preferably, they learn this program, how to live stress and anxiety-free 24 hours a day. They work this morning, noon, and evening every day for the year until they really are empowered to trust their feelings and trust their responses. But they also learn skills. Apart from their homeschooling, they also learn home economics. They learn how to cook breakfast, lunch and dinner. They learn how to do household chores, or when they leave home they can fend for themselves. They learn motor mechanics, how to take apart a bicycle and put it back together again, or a motorcycle or a car, and get driving lessons. They learn maybe 3 languages. Children are like sponges. They're brilliant to soak up as much information as possible. So they learn 3 different languages. So if they're over maybe in Europe, they learn Italian, French and German or Spanish or some such. And then if they're down in Australia or somewhere, they learn Chinese, Japanese, Korean. And then if they're in America, they may learn Spanish, Italian and some other German, maybe German again. They learn the languages that are suitable for where they're from. They learn to read, write and speak these languages. Maybe if it's English, it's English. But they learn languages, they learn holistic practices, they learn acceptance, they learn how to converse with God, how to ask Him for miracles, how to pray and how to journal. They learn public speaking and how to type and how to do IT skills like coding or programming. They learn all these different skills, so when they return home after a year, they're a new creation. They can stand on their own 2 feet. They have all these skills that they apply for a job, and a company sees their portfolio or their resume, they'll walk into a job, no problem. We may receive broken children into our treatment centres, but when they go home as whole, new human beings. We have to understand that these 290 million children who have been diagnosed with mental disorders are the future of the human race. And if we don't take care of the future of the human race, we're doomed. These are our future, and we have to give them the ability to be strong, independent adults by cleansing of this idea that their feelings and emotions and their God-given responses are mental disorders. My name is Richard Tierney. This program is called How to Live Stress and Anxiety-Free 24 hours a day, and is available on the Amazon platform and other book platforms. Please take the time to share and like this with as many people as you can. Thank you very much.